Welcome back. And to start with our first segment for today. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi witnessed on Wednesday the inauguration of the Integrated Complex for Secure and Smart Documents in Cairo. And of course, we all know that this is a major technological project, not only in Egypt, but in the Middle East and Africa. We're going to talk about this actually in more details with our guest for today, Mr. Ahmed Khattab, and he is an economic expert. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to all of you.
So first of all, I want to shed the light on the importance of such a complex.
Yesterday, our President Fattah el-Sisi inaugurated the large integrated association for secured and smart documents in Egypt. It will be add value to the Egyptian economy, and it will lead Egypt to a new technology in issuance all governmental documents, especially by the end of this year. Our government will transfer 100% to the new capital administration city, and the new capital administration city is one smart city in Egypt and in Middle East and in Africa also. If we go through the last news during the cabinet minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli with all the government and all the ministers make a follow-up of the transfer of the government into the new capital administration city. And if we go back to the message of our President Fattah el-Sisi, we will move to a new capital administration city smart in the dealing with the Egyptian citizen by new technology. All process of the government will through the internet and through the e-commerce and through technology more be secured. So the inauguration of such this organization will help and support the government in the transfer to the digital economy, especially in the future.
Well, of course, also it's going to be a step in the digitalization plan for the whole country, an integral part. Let's just highlight again on the role of this entity in general. How it is going to help, what kind of documents, talking about the national economy as well.
Yeah, such a process will help the national economy and will facilitate the process of issuing all the governmental documents like personal ID, like national security of the health care, security related to the Egyptian citizen, like license car, passport. All governmental paper will processed through the new technology. It will be first secured and smart, and all the Egyptian citizens can process through the internet, maybe from using your laptop or your mobile application, and also electronic machine like ATM machine, and all the process also of payment will be 100% digital. And Egypt takes this place starting from 2016, and all the banking sector also most updated, and a lot of fintech company in Egypt working in this field facilitates the process of payment of tax, payment of license.
I was just going to ask about this part. If I'm talking about how far can it help in the process of tracking products as well, and especially when it comes to the revenues, comes to the taxes as well, because this has been also a challenge during the past period.
Yeah, will facilitate the tax collection from all company, especially after we make most updated, and will maximize the revenue collected from the tax to the national income also, and will facilitate the new investor to take all license electronically, and will be clear the area to be invest, and will focus and organize the investment field to every organization also.
So we can say that also it can help in providing the required information for investors. Can it help in this part? Because
yes,
definitely when we talk about investing in Egypt, or anyone who wants to invest, actually he will need a data about the place, more information about the different sects to help him, logistics, a lot of things.
This is a very important question from your side. I think also Minister of Mr. Mohammed Maid issuing and focus in this point. All new investors, if we want to make a discuss about visibility study, discussing about the plan to start a new company in Egypt, inauguration of new company. This will facilitate this process in order to take only from 3 to 7 working day. I think the connection between the banking sector and the industrial sector will be more easy, and we will make a new technology also in the process of tax, a process of collection and payment. All this process will done automatically 100% by electronic process, and will facilitate it to the investor to collect more data about the market, especially foreign investor, because foreign investor, in order to come and make a direct investment to the Egyptian market, will take some time in order to how to collect the data about the Egyptian market, how to collect all the governmental license, how to be able to calculate the tax, because all the foreign investors are worried about how to pay the tax, because tax in last 4 years or before we make updating, it's very complex to any foreign investor to calculate the percentage of tax. But nowadays, after the new tax law, we will be more clear about the percentage of tax, and especially in New Suez Canal corridor and New Suez Canal logistics area, such as this process and updating in tax collection and all the governmental support presented to the foreign investor will promote and will help the foreign investor to come and make direct investment in the Egyptian market.
I think also some of the challenges that we have been talking about for years when it comes to the bureaucracy and corruption. So definitely this is going to be another front actually to confront all these challenges in the future.
Yeah, the new technology will overcome any corruption in Egypt, and I think once our business Sisi starts, he sends the message to the world. We will be 100% clear, and we will overcome any kind of corruption in Egypt, and we try to transfer our experience to all African country and all country in the Middle East, because if you want to be open to the world, you should be clear in issuing data, clear in the visibility study, clear into the announce the growing rate, clear to be announcing the reserve in your central bank about the foreign currency. All governmental process should be clear in order to be also matching with the sustainable investment goals and sustainable development achievement.
So this is one cornerstone
and must,
yes, of the Sustainable Development Vision of 2030.
Yes, that is correct from your side. In order to matching with the Sustainable Development Process 2030, you should follow this rule and overcome any kind of corruption, and you should be more clear with the local investor and international or foreign investor in order to increase direct foreign investment to the Egyptian market.
So also talking about the quality of services provided, the competitive advantage as well. How can such a complex add in this respect?
Yeah, such a complex will be first secured, second more smart. Why secured and why more smart? Because if you want to work 100% through the e-commerce or through the internet, you will face a challenge of security and more accuracy, because the citizen or the investor or the company will process all the steps of registration. So once you make something wrong, all the process will be wrong. So you should be first secured and second smart, and such a secured and smart will encourage a lot of citizens and a lot of investors, a lot of companies to go through the new technology. I think Egypt, after have two smart cities like New Capital City and the New Alamein City, and after we start to apply this new technology in Cairo, in Giza, and in Arix, and the second step will be applied in another government in Egypt, so will lead and will put Egypt in a new position, not only in Middle East but also in Africa, and will put all Egyptian as a new country in the Middle East, leads the Arab area and the Middle East area to smart city like Dubai, for example, and a lot of also African city like South Africa. So Egypt today is starting a new way to make all the governmental process through the internet.
It's a new
by
era.
Very accurate and secured way.
Right, just allow me over the phone. We have Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good morning, Mr. Ambassador. So we were talking about the importance actually of the complex that was inaugurated yesterday for secure documents. So if you would like to tell us more about it and how important it is when it comes to the national economy, its impact on Egypt in general, actually.
It is a very good part of developments which will affect all of us. We shall feel much better life, and the quality of life is getting better. Let me tell you that 20 years ago, I was in Brussels, in Belgium. I tried to buy something. I put $100 to the seller. They refused to take $100. It's not allowed. A couple of years ago, I was in Paris, and I had a bill of 500 euros. I spent 5 days in Paris. I couldn't spend the 500 euros. Only with the help of the concierge in the hotel, I succeed to use it. So now the fashion is that you pay in a credit card, you pay through your account, and no cash at all. Why? Because we are committed internationally. We are committed with the European Union Association Agreement and with the Arab Free Trade Area, and also on the African Union, that we shall combat the organized crime. Organized crime comes at the beginning, money laundering. We shall not allow bags of money to go here and there. No big quantity of money will be allowed to circulate in the market. Drug trafficking, terrorism, and all of this we are combating through this very small development that we are not going to use cash money anymore. And another development that now with your phone, the mobile phone, you can make any order. Thanks to my grandchildren, my 2 remote controls I was using, they are not in good term. By phone, and in 12 hours I got another couple of remote controls, and we pay through the telephone. This makes our life much more easier and much more concentrated on what we want to do. So we thank the government for this very important development. It matches what is going in the world, and let us hope that this will continue.
Right, Mr. Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister, thank you very much for joining us. Sir, talking about this great, important achievement, let me say also that we have to admit that we are living an unprecedented days. Achievements in all sectors, many projects taking place, whether we're talking about infrastructure, talking about mega projects, and we can see and we can feel it today, even on our way to our work, for example. And such entities that are inaugurated recently, definitely now we can see Egypt in a new part, in a new position, just as you mentioned, the new administrative capital, the digitalization of the whole country and the whole documents. Now you have the data about each and every citizen. By the way, this has been one of the main challenges that we lived before, that we cannot reach many of the documents sometimes.
Yes, the new technology and dealing with the Egyptian citizen in all lifestyle, in healthcare, in insurance, in education.
As mentioned by Mr. Ambassador, talking about the mobile, using the mobile,
yes, Mr.
on
Ambassador
transferring
Gamal Bayoumi
whatever you want.
Send a clear message about what we do in Egypt, especially in the banking sector. I'm here to send a positive message about the Minister of Finance, with cooperation of the governor of the central bank, Mr. Ahmed, and all the Egyptian banking sector like Ahli and Bank Masr, do a wonderful agreement, wonderful achievement in the last 4 years, especially in the financial conclusion file, and aims to make all the process of payment and collection electronically without any kind of cash. We can name it cashless process through the mobile, through the e-commerce, through the fintech company working under the umbrella of the bank in order to facilitate the process of collection, for example, of tuition fees of your children in school will be collected 100% electronically without through your credit card. You are not in need to go to school and pay the tuition fees or go to university and pay the tuition fees. So such a new technology in payment and the collection also lead Egypt, especially in the COVID-19 crisis, to be stable and have a positive growing rate around 3%. And this is a very wonderful achievement. Without the most updated in the infrastructure and all in the digitalization of the economy, you will face some challenges, especially in COVID-19. But if we go back to COVID-19 in Egypt, we are still in a good position because we take the upgrading process starting from 2016, and in 2020 we will be ready 100% to do through the online education, online payment. Such a new process and the new techniques applied in Egypt help Egypt to be more stable even in the crisis of COVID-19.
I think we tried as much as we can to take a benefit of the crisis. Let me put it like this. But for the COVID-19, yes, of course, everything changed, moving on to the online, and we worked hard in this respect as well.
Yeah, and in the COVID-19, when we take a new advantage of all Egyptian citizens, you can work 3 days from your office, and another 3 days you can work from your home, and all the process goes in normal way. This is leads to much better in our life in Cairo, especially no crowded, no rush hour like before the COVID-19, for example. The spend of the government in the new such technology lead Egypt to be the first in Middle East and first in Africa, and leads Egypt to be an open market for all foreign investors to come and invest, and change the knowledge of any foreign investors about Egypt, and look to Egypt as a smart city in the Middle East. So a lot of multinational company aims to come and invest in Egypt as a central country in Africa and the central country in the Middle East also.
Sir, you took me to another important part. If I asked you about the impact on the international level when it comes to all such achievements taking place in Egypt during a real critical period of time in the whole world. If I'm talking about, again, infrastructure, if I'm talking about mega projects, talking about inauguration of several entities, not only this one, there was also the medicine complex as well, this important complex. How do the whole world see Egypt, and what is the impact of this on investments, on the economic status in general?
Yeah, the world looks to Egypt today different 100% about before. Why? The key country in the world, like USA, like Germany, like Canada, looks to Egypt as the main gate for Africa. If you go back for 1 week also, once we faced some challenge in the Suez Canal, the world loses more than $6 billion in only 5 or 7 working days. So this reflects the many important location and strategy of Egypt, not only in the Middle East, but in the world. So I think we have a very good location, and we have a very good manpower support to our Princess Sisi. This is a very important issue. Also, we have a 100 million Egyptian citizens, more than 70 or 60% youth, and able to work, and more qualified, more educated, will be able to work through the mobile and through the internet, and have the power also. Because of this, we achieved the new capital business city in only 3 years, and this is a wonderful achievement. In the same time, we have a new city like Amin City, we have new Mansoura City, we have new Asud City, and such achievement in the infrastructure, achievement in the real estate sector, achievement also in the agriculture sector. We have a lot of innovation. Our business is launching from 3 working day or yesterday, for example. So the achievement on all fields, industrial sector, in
education,
sector,
health sector,
healthcare sector, in agriculture sector, in liquid gas sector, in electricity sector. So this achievement lead Egypt to still in a positive growing rate. Even the key country may be negative growing rate. Leads to we have still about 40 billion US dollar reserve in the central bank. This is send a positive message about the strong Egyptian economy to the world and to also the Arab and the investors.
Right, Mr. Ahmed Khattab, economic expert, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, it's my pleasure.
Right, still we have more to bring you on the breakfast show, but first, moving on to a quick break, then we'll be back.